So in this video, I'm going to kind of show you the tools that you have available to use to make your Seesaw lessons as awesome as you can. So first, I want to start with the instructions portion, and then we'll go into the actual student template so you can see what students are working on. So here's one of my math lessons I've made before. Okay, and what I want to show you is how to do these things like adding shortcuts, so kids don't necessarily need to read. They can just look and see what you're talking about here with little pictures. I'll show you how to import videos and kind of make a fun background related to your topic. And then we'll get into how to actually do stuff like this. Okay, so first I'm going to do is just go back to my library and make a new activity. Now, the difference between your instructions and your template, your instructions are not what students are going to be working on once they start the assignment. Okay, that's going to be your template. So anything that you put in here, students cannot work on. They cannot draw on, drag, do anything like that. That's just going to be for the template right down here. Okay. So we're going to start with the multimedia instructions or examples, and that's what the kids will see as their directions. Okay. You can also add voice instructions, but we'll get to that next. Okay. So I always go to a drawing. You can definitely just insert a video if you want to, or upload a Google Doc if you have something on there they can read. For kids my age in first grade, they definitely cannot be reading their instructions. They need to hear it as well. So I usually go to a drawing. When I'm in the drawing, you know, you can make this as fun or as boring as you want it to be, just however much time you want to take. I typically just change the color of the background, you know, type in what the lesson is. Maybe to this keeps me more organized than anything. They don't really care what this says too much. You know, you can obviously add a Bitmoji up here. I've done that before. Okay, but the more important thing, if you're adding a video that you've recorded previously, you hit this 3 dots down here, and you click link. Okay, that's where you're going to paste in your YouTube video or your video, that link. Okay, and when that's pasted, it'll pop up as a little picture of the video. So I'll just put a little shape in there for now. It'll pop up just like this, and it'll be linked. Okay, and students can click on that to watch the video. That's about as in-depth as I get in my instructions. In that part of it, you can go more in-depth here if you want to, but just for more user-friendly for lower kids, they can't really read as much, so I try to make it different that way. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Oh, I forgot to add, you can also make multiple pages of instructions if you want to, but keep in mind this is not what the kids are going to be working on when they actually start doing the assignment. So they can flip through multiple pages of instructions, but please don't put your instructions here and then what you want to work on here because it won't translate the same. Okay, so I'm going to hit the check mark. Now I have my instructions, and those are right down here. Okay, now I'm going to go into my template, and that's what the students are actually going to work on. Okay, so typically you're going to do a drawing. You can also upload stuff as well. I'll make another video showing you how to do more fun stuff with uploading, but for now we're just going to go to the drawing. Okay, so within here, we obviously know that there's the shapes. You know, you can add stuff like that. You can add text here. All kinds of different plus signs, that kind of thing. All that fun stuff, we probably already know about that, hopefully. Okay, but now I'm going to show you some other new things that you can make your lessons more exciting and more engaging and that kind of thing. So if you want to, you can embed another link here, another YouTube video, a different video, with instructions, a song, kind of something else that relates to your topic, and that's going to be the same procedure. You're just going to type in a YouTube video, click the link, paste it in, hit the check mark, and it'll pop up as a little square. And that square, again, I'll just use this as an example. Here's my link that I just inserted. You can resize that. You can make that smaller, put it wherever you want. Point arrows, direct kids, okay, and do that kind of thing. You can also make a video of yourself to put inside this as well. Okay, now it's going to look a little glitchy because I have 2 videos going, but it's going to start recording. Okay, here's my video. I'm going to hit done in the corner, and now this video will also be inserted into my Seesaw. Okay, so this can be more instructions if you want it to be. It can be a totally different thing. It's important to note though, When it's in here, it's in Seesaw. I like to have things in YouTube as well, so I have another copy because most of it's a lot of work. So I would try to stick to lesser videos here. But you can paste those in there, and that can be obviously whatever you want the video to be. Another thing you can do, obviously, if you can video, you can take a picture. You know, hopefully it's not just a picture of yourself, but I'll take a picture of myself. Okay, and then we'll add that in. And you can resize that as well for kids to see. This is another fun feature with kids on iPads, that they can actually take pictures of things that they want to share with you, or you can require them to take pictures to paste in here, and it's really simple, really quick, and they can resize them so you can fit a lot of pictures on the page as well. Okay, we've talked about the shapes over here. If you wanted to have them do patterns of some sort, that's all available for you to use. Now over here, if you really like this page and you want them to kind of repeat the same process, you can click on this 3 dots right here and duplicate it, and it'll make an exact copy of that page with the video, with all of that, if that's something you want to use. And then, you know, adding a blank page right down there, so you can do the same thing over again. Something else that I've just recently been starting to use and have found it really useful is this caption tool down here, right in the bottom left corner. So I found my kids will listen to my instructions, then go work, and obviously immediately forget what I just said. So this caption tool allows you to input your voice again with further instruction or further explanation to kind of help them. So you'll click on this caption tool, you'll add your voice caption and start talking. It's obviously recording down here. And then you'll hit done. It'll be uploaded, and you just need to click above it, and it'll drop back down. So it'll say caption added once it's saved on there, and then highlight kind of in blue. You can certainly teach your kids to check that every single time. What I've been starting to do, because I don't necessarily need further instruction on each page, I've been kind of making this little Bitmoji I've made with an arrow. I'll download this, and I can show you to do this in different time too. But I'll download this picture, go back to Seesaw, and then drop it in. And I always put it real small so my kids know whenever my face is down there, there's an arrow, there's something else to listen to. Okay, you don't have to do that. That's something I do for my first graders to know more. The older kids will certainly know better, and hopefully be checking that as they go. So that helps for some extra instruction as well. You can also do different instructions on each different page if you want to go further in depth. And I understand that this takes a lot more time and it's a lot more tedious, but if you need to do that or want to do that, that's always an option for you to do as well, having different instructions for each single page. So that's kind of the gist of what I have for these new features that you can use on here. Another video will go into more depth on how to make some more intricate assignments, but those are the features right on Seesaw that you have available to use. So now that I have my assignment made that the kids are working on, I have my video made that the kids are going to watch their instructions, okay, and now I have to finish up here with my directions. So let's just use, here's my title. Now for instructions, here's something that I also recently found out. You can use these icon shortcuts, what they're called, to help you make your instructions a little bit easier to read. So instead of just saying, you know, instructions and typing and typing and typing and have a couple paragraphs, when you save that and when kids look at that, it obviously just shows up as words. Okay? What I hope we can start to do more of is adding these shortcuts, is what they're called. So if I add in the shortcut, here's add one, and I save it, it won't show up yet. When I save it, it'll show up as add response. Okay, so kids know when they're starting, they can click just on the button right there. We'll go back and edit it so I can add some more. And these shortcuts, I just Googled it, took a picture, you can save the picture. Here is the list of Seesaw shortcuts that you can use. Okay, and again, I understand that the more in depth you get, the more time it takes. So I'm not saying you need to employ all of these new strategies and try to do it and take an hour and a half on one lesson. But there are some tools available to you if you want to make it more interactive and maybe a little bit user-friendly. These older kids obviously can read, so it might not be as essential, but for my younger kids, it's really important to have these so they can just see the buttons and know what to click as opposed to actually reading it. So when you go into your activities or your instructions, you just type the number or a colon, and then the microphone tool is just the mic shortcut, and another colon in the end, and that'll insert that little image for you. Okay, so when you save it, they can see the little picture of the microphone. Okay. Now, another part of it, which we've been doing, is translating our instructions for our Spanish-speaking families. When you translate it, I'll just use my Google Translate shortcut up here. It's a little bit quicker. Seesaw does not understand now, and when this is in Spanish, obviously, they do not translate that and create a new shortcut. Okay, so when you have ones down in Spanish as well, you need to keep the shortcuts in English, or else it won't translate to be that little image again. Okay, but you can always add, like, we'll say click the microphone. Okay, and then when you translate that, let's translate that little sentence real quick. I didn't translate it all, but you get what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's that feature as well. And the last thing I want to talk about is your voice instructions. This is another really important part too, so kids can actually listen to your voice and hear you talking about the instructions. So I always type out my instructions and then just read what I've typed, just so there's another way to listen to it. With older kids, you might not need to do this either, and this might be more overkill, but that's another useful thing, just to click, record your instructions, and then save it so that kids have another way to hear what they should be doing as opposed to reading it. Okay, you have all those features available to you. Okay, that's all for this video about Seesaw features. I'll be giving out some more videos as well, but hopefully you learned something and can use some of these in your future instruction. Thanks for watching.